Okay, people, I'm back. Fred White, Tales from the Pen. If you're new to the channel, go down and hit that subscribe button. You already know. Click the bell notification and then click all. So every time I put up a video, you will know about it. And today we got a special thing going on. I told you guys I'm going to be bringing you that are fire interviews. I did tell you that. So today, my first guest right here, you know, my first guest of 2021. Represent, man. Tell them who you are, man. Tell them what you're about, brother.
All right, my name is Easy. I got a YouTube page called Florida Prison Talk. I'm originally from New York, but I moved down to Florida in 1994. And I'm glad to be here with my man Fred White from Tales from the Pen. And I'll be using that learn from experience quote every once in a while on my videos.
Yeah.
I let them know where it came from. Yep.
Listen, this is the kind of thing I'll be talking about. Sometimes your words can spark the next generation. It's something you said, you know what I mean? It's not
That's
maybe
a fact.
You may not change the world, but somewhere down the line, it may have happened. And that's what you're doing too. I like your channel, man, because, you know, the reality is I don't do too many interviews. That's the truth. You know what I mean? And only with certain select people that I like. And, you know, I seen your channel and I like the vibe you got going on, man. I like the vibe. Well, first, you know, I like your vibe. And then I looked at you and I said, you know what? This dude looked like one of the Morris twins. You know what I'm saying? It could be Marcus, Markeith, and Easy, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then I saw your personality. I said, you know what? I like his vibe. I like his aura. Let's get him up here and see what's going on. So tell me about your channel, man, and you know, tell me how you started it, bro.
The channel is Florida Prison Talk. I've always been interested in the in the prison culture, period. You know, because my family members have been in and out on my father's side, and down here in Florida, and my mother's side in New York. My older brother right now is serving 18 to life. What made me so interested in the prison culture, and this is since I was a kid, because I was so far away from prison. It's very interesting to be interested in something that you know you'll never go to. Get what I'm saying? People that sell drugs, people that's close to prison, those are not your subscribers. That's not the people watching these channels. People that sell dope, people that's in the streets are not watching these channels. It's the people that are furthest away from prison, that work, that have kids that's raising a family, that are tuned into these channels. And then you got people that went to prison, that changed their life, that's tuning in because they know they would never go back. But I knew I was never going to go to prison. Even though things happen down the road, I knew I was never going to go. So that's why it was so easy for me to be interested in the prison culture.
Right. Okay. So you know, not to get too personal, but you know, you did mention your brother. So let's talk a little bit about Rah-Rahs, you know, and then tell me what was the difference, and you know, what led you, like you said, you knew you weren't going to prison. What, you know, how did it go?
He was different, man. I really think it's we had the same mother, different father. I think a lot of that came from his father, man, because my brother growing up was really tough. We were 7 years apart, so I was glad to have him there. But my brother was always different, and my sister, they had the same father. So they was on two different levels. Then me and my little brother had the same father. We was different. It was definitely a difference right there. My brother's always, my brother caught a case. He was always like, he's always been a leader, man. But I moved to Florida in 94. We from Westchester County, New York. Okay. New Rochelle. Grew up in a project.
Shout out to New Rock City.
About 914. And I had moved. My dad came and got me in 94. I moved. My brothers and my sister stayed in the projects. And my brother started, he started selling drugs, man. And that's the thing about it, man. Growing up in the projects, I never idolized the people that sold drugs. I was always different. I knew that wasn't the right thing to do.
Wow.
But I was around it every day. I was around the shootings and all of that stuff, you know. But my brother went down the path, man, because he started off selling drugs. He was going to college and everything, man. Graduated high school. And I was surprised when he told me, he said, yo, bro, I sell drugs now. So to fast forward things, he caught a case. He caught his first case in 2000, went upstate, did a 2 to 4, came back and caught another case while he was on parole. It was a murder case while he was on parole. And I wanted to start a page then called Letters from Rah-Rah, because I have a bunch of letters from him from the New York State Department of Corrections. And it's been a journey, man. He's been to every max except Sing Sing. I don't know, because it's close to home, but it's been a journey for him, man. And
I know, man. I feel that, you know what? I feel the pain already. I see the pain in your voice, man, and I hear the pain in your struggle. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of things are destiny, you know what I mean? And a lot of things are predestined, man. And you know, shout out to Ra Ra, and because I know I saw your channel. I watched one of your last episodes, and I saw that, you know, he had got into a little something, man. He had got in, yeah. Let's talk about that. You know why?
Yeah, let's
Because
talk
I
about
try
that.
to. I'm gonna try to, because here's the thing. Everybody who knows, who messes with me. I'm not in this for the glorification. I'm in this so that these kids understand and they hear these stories. Like when I wrote on your comment yesterday, because you know your story, and I'm like, you know, number one, it's good, but it's like, it's for these kids to understand, like, this is the stuff that really happens
Yes, it
behind the
does.
wall. There's
I'm
nothing,
telling you,
nothing good about it, man. So tell us a little
nothing.
bit about what he's going through right now, man.
Let me tell you how it started, man. This the stuff he's going through. My brother's first facility was Clinton Correctional Facility. He landed there in '03.
Okay,
And
I just left.
immediately it was going down.
Mm-hmm.
And got into it with some gang. He's not a gang member, but they had the numbers or whatever. He got into it with an organization over cigarettes, passed out $150s, had to defend himself. Whatever going on with Clinton in their yard, he always speaks about some kind of hill. You know, our brother always, in his letters, he used to always speak about it happened on the hill or something. The hill was involved with this situation
Yeah,
in the
you
yard.
know what? Yeah, okay, so my last two videos was Clinton Part 1 and Clinton Part 2, and I talk about it, and in the thumbnail you see the hill. So go watch that one, go watch my last one, and you'll understand the hill, the junkyard, a whole different world. It's a junkyard. You'll understand when you watch it. But go ahead. So tell me.
So he got into that, and he got into it with this organization, and over cigarettes, whatever, he was selling cigarettes, tried to dead him on it, and passed out some $150s. I'm telling this in the most unglorifying way I can, but I'm telling you guys what can happen when you go to prison. This is the stuff he's been going through.
$150s. He was cutting people.
$150. So from there he went to Southport. You know, he spent like 3.5 years in Southport. I went to visit him at these places. Everything I'm telling you, I went to visit. I've seen this firsthand.
Right.
Came back from Southport. You know, they landed him in the same different prison, but the same person that he got into it with is at that facility again.
That's pretty weird, because usually they put what's called a separation.
Right. That's why I'm assuming that
they don't, you know.
Right. And he was he put him at that where, so it went down again. And then because it's Auburn 05.
Mm-hmm.
Then it hit him up in Auburn 05. He got stabbed. You know, it's stuff going on with his case. It's stuff that went on from the streets that people are trying to get at him because of what happened with his case.
Right.
So
right, got you.
So what happened after that? He went to the box for that again, like another 3.5 years in up in Southport. I mean, he was just going through it. And then after that, stuff happened. And then to fast forward, he finally, after 19 years going through all maxes and stuff, he's staying out of trouble. He got down to a medium finally, you know? Because before he was at max, he was at Napanock and Eastern Correctional. I went to see him there.
Oh, Eastern, Napnock, that's a good spot.
It was laid back. He loved it. He said, bro, I love it here. This is I could do this the best time I had. But
yes. Everybody's chill there, laid low. It's close to home. No one wants to cause trouble. They don't want to go back up 8 hours.
Exactly. You know? I went to drive and visit him. I went to visit him at Attica, man, and I went on the bus, and that was 10 hours. So yeah, so he ended up in Napanock, but he popped on a piss test there. So he left Napanock. He back up at Auburn. Right. And so the fast forward is going down now. At the 19 years in maxes and stuff, man, every max except Sing Sing, he finally gets down to a medium. I'm like, whoa, hip hip hooray, man. He's coming up for his first parole hearing. He ends up at Green. Now, from
wait. So after all these years, the first medium he hits is Green.
It's Green.
Look, right next to Caxsackie. I'm gonna tell you, it's probably one of the wildest mediums in the state of New York. And coming from a max, where just I'm giving you his mentality, coming from a max when you're in your cell to now to being into an open dorm experience is a whole different vibe. It's a whole different, because you know when you're in your cell, it's a bit different. It's closed. Not that you have, but you feel a little. When you in a dorm setting when there's other 60 people, it's different coming from a max. So that was his mentality, man.
It's crazy you said that, because that was exactly his mentality. When I was on the phone with him, he was telling me when he first got there, he said the dorm thing.
It was weird. It was weird.
He said one of the dudes like, hey man, I hope you ain't under one of them people that's been locked up for long. My brother's like, no man, it's open dorm. I'm trying to ask you how things go in here. I ain't used to this. he wasn't used to that. Just like you just said, it was
Right.
was crazy for him. And he said that Green was worse than some of the maxes he'd been
Oh
to.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was so surprised because I asked him, I said, bro, how is it? Because it's a medium. He said, well, bro, mediums is more free movement. He said people moving more. Max is more control. So he say some mediums like New York City, this is exact words, people coming from everywhere, all different angles. So he leaves. Go ahead.
But on the flip side to the Green thing, it's also because the population of the inmates are young boys.
He called them these kids. You're right.
They're young. They're probably, you know what I'm saying? They're 18, 17, 19. They're young boys, so they're wild. Like they're trying to get a rep still, where you got a dude that's been down 10, 15 years. He comes to these spots, it's like, oh my God, why did they put me here? And that was your brother's mentality. I'm telling you.
That was his mentality. He got into it with a young guy there. Because the young guy, he's seen as an old head now. He has an 03 number, which so exactly everything you're saying, man. This is crazy. So he got there. He said, these kids here, that's what he said, these kids here are young. So we got into something there, but he said the good thing about the situation he got into, the young kid that he did that to didn't tell. So he didn't get there wasn't a bad transfer, nothing. He ended up going to another. I don't want to mention this facility right here because this is what stuff just happened at, but he went to another medium, which was laid back. He said, bro, it hasn't been a cut in here in 4.5 years. Ooh. I'm like, bro, you lit. Said, yeah, bro, I love it. And then next thing you know, he's on the stairwell, you know what I'm saying? And 2 different organizations try to stab him. And he said what saved him was the fact that he had on, it was wintertime, he had on different layers of clothing. So he was able to get up out of there. You got to know when to hold, know when to fold. Yeah. They had they stuff on him. So he went up out of there, but he works in the mess hall, my brother. So he passes out the bread. So I guess who comes in the mess hall? One of the dudes. So he like, ooh-wee.
I'm about to eat in this mess hall.
I'm about to hold it. He told us, hold this down. He held it down. And he caught him either he was grabbing the cup or he was going like this. Either way, that's when he get him. And he beat him down. The guard was yelling, Anderson, stop. They said, stop. And he beat the man down really, really bad. Really bad. And he went to segregation for that. Now, this ain't the kicker. He went to segregation, came back from segregation. He said he was in I guess they call it a company. He was on the company or whatever, he said. And one of the other dudes from the organization said, yo, as soon as these cells pop, it's lit. And he said my brother's name. But he didn't know how my brother looked. You get what I'm saying? He didn't see it. So my brother was like, yo, let's go gun to gun in the shower. That's what he said. Let's go gun to gun.
Knife to knife, people. Because some people in New Zealand, they got guns. Like,
okay, I got That's right. So he's like, nah, we ain't doing none of that. He was like, because my brother done been in a bunch of those. So we not doing none of that. So my brother told him, he had sent one of the guys to tell him, see how you look or whatever. Let me know how you look. So this is the thing. It's kind of funny. So the sales pop. So my brother comes out. Like, keep in mind, the man doesn't know how my brother look. My brother's with them. He's one of the top Muslims in New York State. So we got this long chin hair. And the dude actually said, what's up, my brother? Not knowing who my brother is. Brother said, you finished. Bam! And this organization is really big. He doesn't have a specific problem with this organization. He's cool with a lot of them. These are isolated incidents. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, these are isolated incidents, and it went down. And yep, go ahead.
No, I think that's what happens. Because the thing is that his a lot of people are strong in numbers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But the thing that you said though, he Muslim, so Muslims and he said his side, bro.
His numbers was good too, and he's the big ock. Like he's been doing that for a while, but just the timing or whatever. Because sometimes I'm gonna be honest, I noticed that since he's been up in the state, like a lot of situations, like sometimes he can't hold off. Like he says it has to be handled right there. You get what I'm saying? That's what he told me. He said sometimes I can't hold off. I can't let this stuff happen. So now he's back in admin seg, and he's awaiting transfer back up to a. I'm hoping I don't know if they're gonna keep him in the medium now, or if they're gonna send him back up to a MAC. But his parole hearing is next month. His reappearance is next month.
His status may have changed. So he's been to this first board. This is second board coming now.
Second board.
And he got hit with 2 the first.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the nature of this thing. You know what I mean? So, but as long as he was maybe semi-productive behind the wall. I know you said he had he's Muslim and stuff like that. So You know, usually Muslims are low key and they're not really
low key.
Yeah.
Fred, that's what I mean, he did a lot when he was younger, but even his letters are different. The way his letters, when he first got locked up, like it was like he was like lit, like he was ready. Now the letters is really calm. He just want to do his time. And he say these kids in there see him as like old and stuff. Like he said these kids. That's what he called them. These kids and these gangs, these organizations.
You know what helped you a lot too was seeing that. You know what I mean? Was seeing that and knowing that. You know, so you know, salute to Ra. You know, hope everything works out with him. You know what I mean? And but I want to talk a little bit about you, man. So you went down there. You went down there, and you know, tell me a little bit about you, man. Your life down there in Florida.
Okay, my life before I moved to Florida, it was my mother was on crack, like everybody else's story. We were living in the projects. My dad saved me.
No, that's not everybody else's story. That's not.
No, not all right. Okay,
right.
My mother was on crack.
Right.
Everybody in the projects' mother was on crack, but I always felt like mine was the only one looking back.
Right, I got
all of our mothers was on it. So my dad came
Right.
and got me in '94, and I moved down to Florida. And when I moved down to Florida, I was lit because my dad made good money. So I was the only child of my dad. My little brother stayed with my mother because he had autism. He was born in '88. He stayed up there. My older brother, Rara, stayed in the projects. And my sister stayed in the projects. So I'm the only one that went with my father. And my life was good, man, when I got to Florida. My life was good. I mean, we were always in the hood, but we had nice houses. We had cars. I had my first car at 16. My dad built it. He's a mechanic, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And he built my car. I didn't want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want for nothing, man. Yes, and from age 11 to 18, I worked. I caddied at a golf course, so I always bought my own school clothes, and I was a good kid, man, for my father. I worshiped the ground he walked on, so he came and saved me from New York. That's a fact, man.
No, that's interesting. That's why I was mentioning about everybody's reality, because, like, man, that's tough, man. You know, growing up and seeing that, and obviously, if your dad wasn't there, your mom was there, you know, with the kids and doing that. I mean, it must have been tough for you, man.
Yeah, my mother was a hell of a woman, because what I seen crack do to a lot of mothers, it took a lot of the heart away from mothers. Like, I know mothers that their kids were scared of them. And as soon as the crack got bad, these kids is in the project, yo, fuck you, you crackhead. It never got like that with my mother. No matter how much crack she did, it never took her heart away. She would whoop our ass. You get what I'm saying? She never let that happen to her, man. And I've always had to worry about what kept me out of trouble. Number one is I always had to worry about repercussions when I got home. I never had the liberty to just stay out. I always had to answer to somebody when I got home. So I knew I can't go with y'all, bro, because, man, shit, my mama gonna beat my butt if I go with y'all. I've always had that at home. I never had it like freeware, because I had a lot of dudes I grew up with in the project. They stay out late as they want. I'm now I'm watching them from the fourth floor window. Like, yes. So I've always had people always control me. I always was good at listening. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
I was always good.
Nah, that's good. And then so go ahead, continue after 18. Let's get into a little military stuff.
I'm down there. I joined the military. I joined a young Marine program at age 13. Nice. Once age 13 hit, I knew I was going to the Marine Corps. A tattoo here, a tattoo there. So two Marine Corps. I knew I was going to the Marine Corps. Moved back to New York at 18, stayed for like a few months. My brother caught his case. I was in Marine Corps boot camp 12 days later. You get what I'm saying? 12 days later, I was in Paris Island training to become a Marine.
Nice.
Yep, go to Paris Island. I trained to become a Marine. I graduate, honor graduate. Number one, I left out of boot camp, E3, Lance Corporal, number one in my platoon. I get stationed in Hawaii. I'm in Hawaii now, stationed in Hawaii for 3 years and 7 months. Hawaii was lovely. I deployed to Afghanistan, had a good time in Hawaii, Honolulu, Waikiki, deployed to the field, been a bunch of different places. And I did good. I ended up picking up, I picked up corporal in Afghanistan. 2 years later, I picked up E5, which is a sergeant in the Marine Corps. My story changes when, all that was good. I didn't get in trouble, you guys that's listening, until I was already successful. You get what I'm saying? I didn't get in trouble I'm an example of you can make it out the hood. You know, you don't got to be a father, because amongst everything my dad did, I still lived in the hood around killers and thugs. I hung out with them. I just knew I couldn't do certain things. So we was in the hood all day, every day, doing my little stuff here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I get stationed in, I re-enlist in the Marine Corps. I give them another 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I love it. This is what I want to do. I'm never going to be a civilian. I'm going to be there forever. I give another 4 years. I get stationed in Quantico, Virginia, which ended up being the worst mistake of my life, because before I got to Quantico, Virginia, I had another Marine I was stationed there. He said, be careful going to Quantico, He said, because a lot of those Marines over there, they're not disciplined like the other ones, what you used to. So I ended up getting stationed in Quantico. And one day I was smoking cigarettes when I was in the military. One day I'm in a smoke pit and I hear Marines talking about drugs. It was a shock to me. Never heard it since I've been in the Marine Corps. I'm like, what? I heard them talking about weed and talking about coke. I'm like, and my dumb butt decides to jump in the conversation because now I'm close to New York now. I've been missing New York all my life, been in Florida. I'm happy. I'm in New York. I'm right outside DC, so I'm 4 hours away from New York. And I say, yo, I heard y'all talking over there. I'm a Marine too, like I'm a corporal. I'm higher ranked than all of them. I heard y'all talking, man. I can go get it for y'all. And I started going to New York. I started bringing it back to a Marine base. I'm selling it to Marines in the barracks. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, man, I'm gonna tell you what a dumb mistake I made. I felt like when I got back from Afghanistan, I felt like I was almost untouchable, man. Like I had a right to do what I was doing just because I've been over there. And that was the stupidest thought because 1,000 other Marines been over there also. And I'm in the barracks, man, and I'm selling coke, $150 a gram. And the thing about the situation I'm talking about with these, it wasn't like I was a dealer in the streets. All these guys I was selling the cocaine to were my buddies. These are my Marine Corps buddies. So you get what I'm saying? So it's not like a customer dealer relationship. It's a homie to homie relationship. But they like to have fun on the weekends. I never seen no crap like this. I never seen people in the Marine Corps do drugs. I was like, what the hell is going on? But I realized that Quantico, Virginia is a different kind of base from what I used to, because when I was in the Marine Corps, it was a non-deployable base. The Marines that were stationed in Quantico, they didn't deploy to Afghanistan. They didn't go to Iraq. They didn't go to the field. So when I got to Quantico, the discipline of the Marine there was different. And they had a lot of first-term Marines. That mean that they had a lot of Marines that was on their first enlistment in Quantico. But it was Bloods, Crip Marines. They had the E Club on Wednesday night fighting. These are Marines, he Blood, he Crip, going at it like hamsters. These are fat. I met so many Marines that was in gangbang. Yeah. Yes, listen.
I would think that you went there, no disrespect to anybody, to get out of that.
Right. And I get there and all of a sudden everybody's a Crip, everybody's a Blood, and people, I don't know. Now, some was official, but I know some of them had claimed it so much that they had to fight for it. You know, it was like people was going at it like on base. It was like, you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
like,
let me ask you. So they'd be off base going at it, and then on base they dress the same and stand next to each other.
Yeah, stand next to each other. No. It's Marines that just do not like each other. They'll deal with each other. It's like a bunch of people in there, so people are gonna dislike each other. It's like almost like it's just a bunch of people, man. So the same way you dislike a person in the streets is almost the same way you dislike a person when you're in the Marines.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. People think it's all, yeah, it is that, but it's still got those.
And the people you bond with is like some life shit, the real one.
It's life shit. It's the people I bond with. It's like life stuff. Okay. So I'm bringing this stuff back from New York on base. I had a Dodge Charger, because not from the drug. I already had it before I started that. From being a Marine, I had that. I'm bringing it on base. I'm selling it. So I'm selling it to them. I didn't even need the money, man. I was a Marine. I was doing good. It was just something to do. It was easy. Like, okay, let me provide them what they need. So the problem happened, man. I'm gonna tell you what the problem happened at. I started moving real reckless, and the Marines they was moving reckless, not worried about. We were just off the chain. I'm going to work every day. I'm still a sergeant, reporting every day. You know, I'm selling. I got the weed, the ecstasy pills, in the coat. Yes, I was stupid. I got the vials, so I'm doing all of that stuff, man. And the problem happened that when I started, I actually decided to try the cocaine. I tried it. Like, I'm selling it the whole time. My mindset is nothing is ever going up my nose. And we used to be in the barracks room in Quantico. So one day, one of my homies, I told you, these are not customers to me. These are my friends, my Marine buddies. They say, yo, I'm gonna leave a line right here. You say, you selling us all this shit. You need to try it. I'm like, nah, man, y'all, my mindset is that's for losers. That's what I'm saying in my head. That's for losers. Right. So he said, I'm gonna leave this line here for you all night, man. And it's up to you to try it. So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna mess with that, man. These boys, I'm gonna still make this money. But then I seen one of my homies use it. And this is the type of dude I'm like, I never thought he would do it. I said, well, shit, if he's doing it, it can't be that bad. That's why I'm like,
that's direct and indirect peer pressure, man. Negative peer pressure. Man.
Indirect. Exactly. So I see him do it, and I take the line, man. They show me. I'm getting instructions from them. Okay, hold this nacho. Boom, do it. I'm like, okay, I did it then. Then I walked to smoke a Newport, because when you on that kind of drug, you need the menthol with it. There's just some reason I needed it. And I'm sitting there like, well, this is the end. I knew the feeling it gave me, the euphoric feeling. I knew that I wanted more of it, man. And it was that day in the barracks, 2074 Anderson Road, Quantico, Virginia, when everything changed, man. And now I'm no longer dealing. Now I'm using more, but I'm getting it now so I can use it more. You get what I'm saying? And it got so bad, man, that the people that was using it before me, I got worse than them. You get what I'm saying? I'm doing it more than them now. Like, I'm the man that's like out there doing, and I'm still coming to work every day as a Marine.
And the thing is, you never thought it would be you, ever.
Never. And then, man, it popped off long to bring everything down on that situation. What happened was it hit the fan, man, and NCIS and CID got involved. They had piss test us. They piss test me, and I had avoided the whole day. Like, my homeboys is going, they getting knocked. I'm like, I found, okay, listen, this was meant for me. I was the barracks NCO. I was in charge of the barracks, make sure the rooms is clean during field day and everything. Every Thursday is field day. So listen, I'm on my computer. So I left work early that day. In the military, you get 3 days off. Sometimes you get 4 days off. I left work early that day, man. And the email had said, hey, Sergeant Winchester, be alert. Monday, we having a health and comfort. We're checking everybody's rooms and we're piss testing everybody. So me, the whole weekend, I've been going in on cocaine the whole weekend. I get back to work. And the day I checked my emails from that day, and the piss test is tomorrow. If I would have stayed a little bit longer and seen that, I would have never did it that weekend, but I was going to get caught anyway. So long story short, I was avoiding the piss test, and they finally called me down there, and I took the piss test, man. And 3 weeks later, the results came back, and I popped. But I was actually relieved that I did because I was too paranoid. I fought my homeboy at the E Club, thought he was telling on me. We got in a fight, and he ended up getting the best of me. You know, I snuck him while he was dancing. Yeah.
When he was doing his thing,
he was jigging like, I don't know if Young Jock or who was playing, but he was going crazy. So I went and snuck him, man, and inside. He wasn't even telling at all, man. I was paranoid. I thought everybody was, because I went to New York for the weekend and got caught in White Plains in a parking garage sniffing coke. You get what I'm saying? This next weekend, I'm like, damn, listen, when the police opened my trunk, all my military stuff is back there. My bulletproof plates, my Kevlar. He's like, yo, you a real Marine? I said, I'm active duty. I'm in Quantico. So I went through that. So damn. I thought my homeboy told. So we fought, man, and he bit me right here on my forehead. That's why I got a slash. Yeah, bro. I hit him, and I went out there. He ran outside. He's like, come back out here for the second round. You got that? Come back out. You got that? And I went out there, man, and I swear I had been drinking, and I had swung and missed. And he took me to the air. Yeah, he took me to the air, bro. It was over with. You ever been in the air and you know you about to fall down? I just like, oh, what's happening? It's happening.
Like, oh, it's like slow motion.
It's slow motion.
Oh, man. So go ahead.
Man. So then after that, I caught the case. You know, my pop. So I went after that, man. I went AWOL. I never been to jail. Hell, jail. Oh, hell no. I went home.
You caught a case.
Yeah, I caught the case. Yeah. And I caught the case, and I went AWOL for like
selling
28
or
days.
You was selling, or what was the?
Yeah, they got me for distribution on a military installation, introduction of cocaine on a military installation, use of cocaine on the military installation, and AWOL. I left for 28 days. I wasn't ready. I'm talking to my mother. She's like, your brother just caught a sentence. He's been locked up 3 years. I can't deal with this. You need to turn yourself in. I'm like, man, I'm about to be a civilian. I was so much of a Marine. I'm like, what am I gonna do in the civilian world? I was so used to what am I gonna do when I get home? So I go AWOL and I turn myself in. The feds come to my father's house in Florida to tell your son to turn himself. My dad come, turn yourself in, son. They said they're not gonna lock you up until after your case is over with. I said, oh, okay. I turned myself in on day 28 just to avoid getting deserter status. So I turn myself in and I get locked up that same night. I go back to the barracks that I was selling in and they locked me up. And I got locked up, so I was pre-trial. I served a little over a year. I was pre-trial at Quantico and I caught the case. And then I ended up going to Jacksonville, North Carolina, 6 hours away to the long-term prison, what they call it. And that's where I did the rest of my time at. And both of these jails I was at, man, and I was the jail was actually letting me write my brother back and forth. And when I caught the case, a bunch of people caught the case. You know, it was girls involved with it too, but the girls didn't do no time. It was, and one of my friends, he caught the case. We was all locked up together, you know what I'm saying? And I went to Quantico. I was nervous, man, for the unforeseen, but I knew I was locked up around other Marines. So I knew people wasn't that bad.
Right. No, I was reading about like the differences between. How much time did you do, if you don't mind me?
Like a year, 12 months.
So I've heard that like some of the differences is like that in the military, like the guards are actually military people. Like it's not actually like guards, you know, right, that they hire for. It's military people, right?
Military people, yeah. They're in uniform. They're military camouflage.
Right.
Yep.
So, and they're still expected for you to carry yourself in a certain way. I heard this. Tell me, is this true? I heard that if you, like, you're locked up in the military, you have, even though the guards are military guys like you, if you salute them, you get in trouble. They could throw you in segregation because they're not allowed to salute you back anymore.
No, sir. And plus, when you're in there, you don't have no hat on, so you don't salute in the military without a cover on anyway. You must have a cover on, so you're not wearing that, and they look at you as the scum of the earth once you've gotten in trouble. You got to realize these guards that be in the military jails, they be like private, they be E1s and E2s. And then now you got people that I used to be E8s, E9s, listening to these people they used to be in charge of. Because you do what you in the military, like I'm gonna tell you the most common charges when I was there. When I was on Quantico, it was the drug charge. They had a lot of child molesters. They had a lot of those charges and adultery.
In the military?
Man, what, man?
What? I lost you. Hold on.
My bad.
Nah, I was gonna pause it. Yeah. Wait, so they had like molesters and all that?
Listen, they had they call it. That's why I learned the word chomo. When I got to the military prison, I learned the word chomo. And then when I got there, I was in, because listen, I got locked up in the middle. I was in the dorm. If they had a shot caller at a prison, that was me. Because the first prison I was at only had 70 people. So what I mean by a shot caller, I used to be a sergeant in the Marine Corps. So when I got to the damn jail, I carried myself the same way. And these other Marines looked up to me the same way. The ones that, because a lot of Marines in there, they was like, a lot of guys hadn't been in the Marine Corps for like 6 months. They was going AWOL from boot camp and stuff. So I had been in the Marine Corps 5 years already. So they used to always come to me for how much time you think I'm gonna get, this, that, and the other. So I was in there. I was a librarian, the laundry guy. I wasn't supposed to be in jail. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this Marine Corps stuff was eat, sleep, and that's all I thought about. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the thing about it, it was the kind of charter they got. I'm gonna tell you, in the Marine Corps prison, military prisons, it was you get in trouble. Adultery is a crime. I was in there. A guy was doing 12 months for cheating on his wife. I felt so bad, man. Yeah. Adultery all day. You get caught for adultery in the military, you getting locked up.
Wait, hold on.
He was doing 12 months.
Let me get a 20. Hold on. Let me get a 20. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. So you get caught having sex with another woman who is not your wife.
Yes.
Man, that sounds like some other country shit. That sounds like some.
It's messed. They took his benefits away. They took. What? He was a gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps. That's an E7. They bumped him all the way down to corporal, which is an E4. They took his retirement, most of his retirement pension. And let me tell you how he got caught. He had an old razor phone, and his son needed a new phone. His wife was in the Marine Corps. She was a sergeant major. She had retired after doing 20-something years. His wife say, use your dad's old phone. We can save some money. Use his old phone. Matter of fact, let me go charge it. And he had became an ROTC instructor, and he had pictures of one of his students in there, and his wife turned him in. Once she turned him in, found out what he said, oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. The Marine Corps say, no, it's too late. We took over the case. He's going to jail. And he was doing 12 months. So I never complained around this guy. What he was going through was way worse. I never complained around him. He was doing 12 months for adultery. And then the one dude was in there, he had a crack house on base. Like I'm telling you. And then a lot of child molestation.
You know, this is the crazy part. And I know you was actually in it, right? So when we're outside and we're looking at it now, it's like, how did you ever really think that was going to last, right? Like
exactly.
But when you're in and caught up in the moment, thinking about that bread, now you don't even think like that. And this is the point I'm trying to get across to these kids. Sometimes you think I'll just do it for a little while and I'll get in and out. It don't work like that. Like
it do not work like that. I had to get caught to stop. I had to. I wasn't gonna stop no other way. I said I was gonna stop every day. I threw away like 50 ecstasy pills, man, because I seen the Marines with the K9 dogs, but they wasn't coming to our barracks. I got nervous, man. I stopped for a little while, and then I started back, man. That's
the thing when you live in that kind of lifestyle, right? When you live in that world, right? And is that you live a paranoid life, bro. Yes. You live a paranoid, like as far as like, back in my days, you know what I mean? Like if anybody even knocked at the door and they didn't call or nothing like that, like I'm not even answering the door. Like you understand what I mean? Like why is this car parked in front of my house? Like wait, did I just hear footsteps at 5:30 in the morning? You wake up at 8 in the morning. It's like, woof. Well, they would have been here if they would have. You know what I'm saying? Like
stuff like that. They would have been here already. Exactly.
Right. It's 8 in the morning. Woof. They would have knocked the door in at 5:30. Thank the Lord I'm here. Right. Like
yes.
for those who know, for those who don't, it is what it is. We're trying to paint the picture for you right now.
Exactly. And that's the thing about it though, Fred. I would never attempt to do those kind of moves in the civilian world. I was on a Marine base. It wasn't nobody killing each other. I was around Marines, so I was safe. I would never come out here and do what I did on these streets out here. Hell no.
Right.
It's a dog eat dog out here. I was in there free chilling.
Right.
I'm around a bunch of good people.
Right.
You know, I'm around a bunch of good people, so I'm chilling. So when I got to the prison, it was a shock for me because I was so surprised that the Marines that was like turning the real convicts in there. Like, I'm like, you was a Marine, bro. I don't even see the Marine in you no more. But the child molesters in the military where I was at, they can walk the yard. Like nobody's, I mean, they getting messed with in the dorms, but nobody's poking them up in the military prison like that. Listen, don't get it twisted real quick. I wasn't at USP Leavenworth. I was at Quantico and I was at Jacksonville. The one I was at was 15 years and below. Leavenworth is 15 years in a day. You go to Leavenworth. I was at Jacksonville at that place. So everybody there had 15 years and below. But the child molesters there, it was so easy to find the child molesters because just about all of them worked in the dog program. The dog program was a whole nother dorm. They trained dogs for wounded warriors. If you was in the dog program, that meant you had a long sentence. You had to have a long sentence to be in there. And they did the dogs, but this is how you knew who was who. Every day of the week is offender-related classes. So if you got caught selling drugs, you go Monday. Child exploitation, you go Tuesday. The room that they're kept in is not tenant. So all you got to do is go look in that room on Wednesday. Whoever's in there on Wednesday are the child molesters. But they get, yes, they get. That's how
but you can't do nothing to them because then they send you to Leavenworth.
Not even that. The military prison is strict. You're not doing that stuff. Like the stuff I hear about these prisons, the military prison is strict. None of that is popping off.
So if you stab somebody, you done.
You done. Like you going on D-row. D-row is closed face cells. That's what, because it was a race war when I was there between the whites and the blacks, and on the first floor.
What?
The detainees. Yeah, it was a race war between the detainees. See, where I was at, they had detainees was in blue, and post trial was in orange. So the federal prison I was at, they held people that was awaiting trial and people that was done with trial. So down in first deck was all of these. It was like a lot of young Marines, that had just came and that got in trouble like within their first year. So they wasn't even really Marine-like mentally. They were still civilianized. And there was a dude named Maddox. Maddox was a monster. He was big. He was from Alabama, Birmingham. He didn't play. I'm glad he was on our side. Maddox didn't. I seen this man break up. I seen this man break up a whole soccer game on a rec yard. Just come across and kick the ball the other side of the rec yard. Do something. Like I seen this man do. He didn't play, man. So it was these white detainees, man. They were talking all of this racist stuff because, okay, you in the military prison, but you in the military supposed to be all camaraderie and love. You still stick with your race for the most part. That's just how it is. That's what I did. It made things easier, you know. And right. Maddox, he got into detainees, him and Hightower. I said their name.
But could you intermingle? Like in Cali,
all day, yes.
Okay, you see how Cali is.
You can intermingle all you want, but
right.
Yeah, definitely. You see, it's a little different. Yeah.
Right,
so,
right. But Maddox you can mingle, but that's just how it was. You can mingle, but that's just how it was.
That's how it was. You can listen. Right. You can mingle all day, like it was no problem. But it just that it'd be a lot of whispering going on, and this was during the inauguration with Obama, so it was all kind of stuff being said in that dorm. This was his first election. It was so much tension in there with the Obama election, man. And these guys, so it was pretty much everybody stayed with, but a lot of times everybody came together also. Sometimes you couldn't avoid it, but no, don't get into it. It wasn't like Cali or nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah, people still mingled.
Right.
So Maddox, they got into it, and another guy, Hightower, hopefully they ever see this, it's true facts. They got into it with the white guys on the first deck in the dorm, beat these guys, and I'm not saying this because they're white, but they beat these guys to a bloody pulp, like beat them up bad. And listen, this is how we seen the pictures and everything that happened. The guards at the military, these guards are really cool. The thing about guards at these military prisons I was at, they wanted you to think that they was like you. Like, yeah, bro, I don't care about this Marine Corps stuff, man. I'm going home too, man. I'm gonna smoke all the weed I want. They want you to think they cool. I'm like, you dummy. You still got it. You're a Marine. Stop talking like that. They try to be cool. So they had their phones and they had the pictures of the incident, what happened. And the pictures, the guard name was Shepard. He had all the pictures of these. I mean, it was like a brutal beatdown. So Maddox and Hightower and them on D-Road. I mean, it wasn't even a fight according to the guard. It was just a straight beatdown. Maddox and Hightower were really, really big. So they was the only two people on D-Road. People in the military, but they're not fighting all day like that. They're not doing that. So the D row was filled with 2 people. I'm on C row, loss of privileges. That was my only time going to confinement.
So D row is like the highest level that they can.
That's the highest. A row is maximum security in a wait and transfer to Leavenworth. I was on A row when I first got there. See, when you go to the military prison, you go to solitary confinement for 2 weeks first to learn the rules and regulations and let you know that you don't want to come back here. It's mandatory. Everybody goes to solitary confinement. So when I got to the military prison, I'm in a day room with a guy that got in trouble on parole in the Marines. He said, bro, you don't want to go to Squad Bay 4. They're getting airlifted out of there, man. A lot of young Marines in that dorm. I'm like, damn. See, I know when to hold, know when to fold. He said, you don't want to go to Squad Bay 4. I'm like, bet. Let me put in the paperwork for my counselor. I don't need to go to Squad Bay 4. I said, what's going on? I said, yeah, man.
I already heard.
Is there any way I can avoid Squad Bay 4? He said, he said, no, the length of time you got left, I want to go to Squad Bay 7. They worked outside. I was medium inside. Squad Bay 7 is medium outside. And I went to Squad Bay 4. And what helped me in Squad Bay 4, I was in the reception dorm. Squad Bay 4 was across the street. It was like wild animals over there. Like wild animals, because the Army was in there too. The Army was out there. They was wilding out there too.
Oh, so when it's military, it's all branches.
It's really not. It's mostly Marine, but they have some Army and Air Force in there.
Oh, okay.
Marine break, but so I'm like, I don't want to. Squad Bay 4 is wilding out. Like they going. I mean, I'm looking at them through the bars. Like it's just so much movement over there. So much. So I'm going to Squad Bay 4. And as soon as I get to Squad Bay 4, my boy Chico, he said, "What's going on, baby?" Chico, 305, Miami-Dade County. I said, "Shit, Zeke, Palm Beach, 561." So you got to know when to use New York. You got to know when to use Florida.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? This is a Florida moment. If you would have said New York, I would have said 914, Westchester, boom. Right. So he said, you come right here with me. And I went to my bunk, man, and I was good in Squad Bay 4 because a lot of stuff happened, but I'm the same way everywhere. I'm a comedian. I keep people around me laughing. But let me tell you a quick story, though. So I went to Squad Bay 4. It was a guy named Benjamin. He was in segregation. They say, man, listen, man, Benjamin is a big white boy, man, you know what I'm saying? He got a 7-year sentence. He like to beat up people while they sleeping. I'm like, damn, I got to go through this. It's an open dorm with 80 bunks. You know what I'm saying? No bunk beds, just 80 single bunks, 40 on each side. I'm like, damn, Benjamin, this may be a guy I need to get cool with. You know what I'm saying? So Benjamin, I see him. He come out of, when we at the rec yard, when he comes from segregation from doing the 30 days, we was at rec. And when Benjamin came to rec, I seen him walk in the yard. He's spinning the yard. I played all the white sports. I didn't play basketball with the black because they was over there wilding out. I played volleyball, softball, and flag football, and I was a champion in all of them. I never played basketball. One day, my people was up there going, it was wilding. It was too much hacking, too much going on, fighting. I was like, no, I'm not.
The basketball courts get rough. They get rough.
I'm spiking volleyball. So Benjamin goes by. I said, "What's up, Benjamin?" He was like, he was from Wisconsin. What's up, dude? He's like, who the hell is this guy? So keep in mind now, he said, what's up, Benjamin? So he come by again. He's in Squad Bay 4. And through another acquaintance of mine, me and Benjamin got real cool, man. He ended up being a real good dude. Benjamin was the type of dude that he would get more mad if somebody tried. He'll get more mad than you if you got into it with somebody. But yeah, so I went to segregation. I told one of the security guards, I came through the metal detector coming from Chow. I'm coming from Chow. And I had like 17 days left. So I was getting kind of cocky. He said, hey, go back through the metal detector. His name was Swinghammer. We called him Shrek. Bro, we used to just disrespect the guy. He's not disrespecting, but he was a soft guard. And this is how I know from the outside looking in, when you like a soft guard, like people would take advantage of you. Because when he was in our dorm, we knew he was watching whatever we wanted to watch. You know, we didn't go by the guide, but I liked Swinghammer because everybody just used to mess with him. So one day I decided to mess with him. Let me catch some rep. So anyway, Swinghammer, I come through. He said, go back through. I said, okay, top flight security. Another guard heard me. Winchester? You? Cuff up. I'm like, cuff up? Damn. I go to segregation. I'm on C row. C row is loss of privileges, LOP. Ain't nothing in there but a desk and a bunk. And you can't even read in there but your Bible. So I'm like, all I do is read. So next thing you know, I'm like, yo, get me out of here. I'm calling for the warden, like, yo, let me out. I'm sorry. I was being stupid. Let me out. So, it's old steel bars, man. Old shit. So they finally come in. Winchester, what's all that yelling for? I said, I need to go back to the dorm. I can't be here. He said, all right, man, I'm gonna let you back out. Let me back to the dorm. I'm on the dorm. He's like, oh, I can't. What's up, Winchester? I'm chilling, man. I'm thinking it's over with. I'm thinking they bumped it down to a negative OR. And next thing you know, man, they say, Winchester, a few days later, I'm sleeping. I slept a lot. I'm sleeping. Winchester, cuff up. They brought it back up, the DR. And they went through with the DR. And I went to the DNA board like 7 days later. What got me so mad, before I went to the DNA board, I was waiting like 7 days, and those days don't count towards your box count.
What's a DNA board?
That's a disciplinary and adjustment board.
Oh, okay.
A panel of higher up Marines. So everybody's like, yo, plead guilty.
Right.
Plead guilty. So I go in there, and I'm in there like, I'm like, listen, I've been a model inmate. I'm on the football field. Because the guard used to watch me from the towers playing football. So I'm on the football field and everything. Come on, look out for me. They say, you about to get out? Yes. I said, yeah, I'm out the PR, permanent release. I'm about to go home. I'm going home. I'm down to like 7 days. There's no reason for me to go, for y'all to let me, but put me in here. Tomorrow, you down to 7 days? I said, yeah, please. I appreciate that. I'm thinking something good is gonna come out of that. No, I'm at detention. Because it's still military, like I'm at detention.
Right.
They said, well, since you got 7 days left, I didn't have 7 days left. I had 14 or 17. So that it bit me in the butt. Since you got 7 days left, we're gonna go ahead and throw you in the C-roll, loss of privileges. We're gonna let the dorm know what happens when you talk back. So now that they wanted to have an effect like, oh, Winchester's gone, he didn't come back. So I never went back to the dorm. So when I actually got out, I got out from segregation. When I finally PR'd, I PR'd out.
Oh, they put you there, and then okay, so you got out from there.
So it was like a mystery to the dorm, and I got out from there, and I went back to Quantico, man, the base where it happened at, and I was there for like a month, and they sent me home, man. So, you know, I came home, I was depressed at first, man. I cried every day, man. I'm crying every day, like, man, I miss the Marine Corps so much. My friends are retiring now that I came in with. You get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question, man. This may seem a little personal, right? But let me ask you: do you still consider yourself a Marine?
All day, every day, man. Because I got my stuff, I got my rights back and stuff. My GI Bill, my VA home loan. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I got everything back. I got my degree with my GI Bill. So
was there ever a point in your life where you didn't feel like that? Like after you got out, like I'm not a Marine?
I always felt like a super Marine because it was a lot of Marines that I was in with that didn't get in trouble, but that was shitbags. They just skied it through. I know Marines that complain every day, but when you go on their social media, it's Marine Corps all around their page. I really do. This is tatted in ink on both sides. I was in a Young Marine program. I was in ROTC 4 years in high school. All I ever wanted to be was Marine. I had been to Paris Island twice as a kid before I even went to boot camp. I had visited Quantico with my father before I even got stationed in Quantico as a kid. The Marine Corps is in my veins. This is what I was meant to be a Marine. When I was over in Afghanistan, the Army guys like, man, you was built to be a Marine. Everything I've done in the Marine Corps, I've exceeded it. I left boot camp #1. I'm in a platoon with 80% white kids. I'm the 20% black with 3 white drill instructors, and I made it out #1. Nice. Nobody couldn't tell me nothing about the Marine Corps, man. So when I got in trouble, it was a shock to everybody. See, there's some people that get in trouble, and you like, yeah, I knew it was coming.
It was predicted. Yeah, like me, I get it. Right. Right. No. I'm just saying, real talk. Real talk.
Okay, gotcha.
I've had teachers, counselors, used to tell my mom all the time, he's going to be dead or in jail by 17, and somehow they were prophets. So I understand what you're saying, and you were the one that were like, no, not him.
Yeah, for real, man.
Right? Maybe.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but sometimes this is what, and this is what I talk about on my channel, man, is that sometimes one little choice in life can take you down a crazy road, right?
Yeah.
Them choices of you saying that you're gonna go from Virginia to New York and back to Virginia, that was one era, and then, obviously using, right? So there's a few morals to the story here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a few morals to the story when you knew the difference between right and wrong.
Definitely.
A lot of us do. A lot of us know the difference. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us know the difference. We just chose to ignore them, and then suffered the consequences. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that you're doing something positive with your life.
Yes, sir.
I love your channel. You know what I mean? Real shit.
Yeah.
I like your personality, and that's what's gonna win. You got over 1,000 subscribers already. Salute.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure that all these people watching right now in this, they're gonna be down here in the premiere. All these people chatting, because there's gonna be people chatting. I'm gonna put this up as a premiere. So people are gonna be chatting as this video's be. I want all you guys to go subscribe to him, man. You see, he's a good dude. his channel is crazy. He got a lot of good interviews on there. He tells a lot of good stories, and a lot of them have morals, and you know, and reasons behind the stories. And that's what I like, man. And I see you having a you know, a good future. And I know you want me to come on yours. That's already done. We'll do that like next week or something like that. You know what I mean?
All right.
We'll definitely rock Florida prison talk. You know what I
And
mean?
real quick before we go, and
Talk
tell
to
you
me.
about this military prison. A lot of people that's in there, it's because of one simple mistake cost them their whole career. I know Marines that was in there after doing 25 years that made one mistake, like a DUI, manslaughter, their whole career going. It was people in there for friendly fire. A lot of people went in there for war crimes, like killing innocent Iraqis, innocent Afghanis. There was a lot of people in there for that. You
I
know,
want to
so
get you back on and we could talk about stuff like that. Like
yeah, all right, bet. We'll save that. Okay, bet.
That sounds like a whole different, you know,
that's a whole different thing. Yes.
We'll lay on that for a couple of weeks, and then we'll
all
definitely,
right.
I'm definitely gonna have you back on. That's just, you know, that's just mandatory. That's just the way it is, man. You know, I like your vibe. I like what, you know, I like our thing, and you know, knowing that you're a Dolphin fan.
Yes, sir.
Oh
All
God.
day.
People,
yes,
go
sir.
subscribe to my man, Florida Prison Talk, man. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you go follow him on IG. What's your IG?
My IG is Florida Prison Talk. And I also got another one, Interview TV, ENTERVIEW_TEEV. Interview TV.
I'm gonna put it in the link. Don't worry about it.
All
You guys just go down to the link and click on it, and you can go right to his Instagram. And you know, I'm gonna put another link for his YouTube. You go click right on and go right to his YouTube, man. And you guys already know the motto. You guys know the motto, right? Experience is the greatest teacher, but somebody else's experience can be just as valuable if you pay attention and listen. And on that note, Fred White, signing off. Thank you, brother.